Thank you, Chairman Grassley. As I've said in a number of confirmation hearings, when I consider whether to vote for President Trump's cabinet and executive branch nominees, I look at three things. Do they have the relevant qualifications and experience? Do they have policy views that I think are not obviously in contravention of the basic interests of the people of the United States? And do they have the character and independence to do the job with integrity? Attorney General Bondi clearly has the experience to serve as U.S. Attorney General. She served for 2 terms as Attorney General of one of our largest states, was a prosecutor for decades, and I understand that we will disagree on large areas of policy given that she's been nominated by a president of the other party. We could spend a lot of time on this, but I'm going to focus on a simple question that I think decides my vote here. It came down to the third piece, whether or not Ms. Bondi possesses the character to run the DOJ independent of orders from President Trump and the White House that would put at risk our system of ordered liberty and our Constitution. I wanted to know from her specifically, would she refuse to obey an illegal order or resign if pressed? I asked her that in our private meeting and told her I would ask it again in her public hearing and tried to work through with her what her views were and what her answer was. She refused to answer the question in private and in public, saying that she would not have accepted the nomination if she thought President Trump would ever put her in that position. Some of you may remember I asked that in her confirmation hearing, and she said she wouldn't answer a hypothetical, especially one saying that President Trump would issue an unethical or illegal order. I believe Senator Blumenthal asked the same question, Senator Hirono asked the same question without response. I gave her yet another chance to answer the question directly, having described it as the key to getting my vote for her confirmation when we met privately, in writing, and she refused to answer. How hard is it to say that you would refuse an illegal order? In 2019, in his confirmation hearing, I asked President Trump's last Attorney General, Bill Barr, whether he would resign if asked to do something illegal. And his response was brisk and direct: I would resign. Actions taken yesterday, I believe, show that Ms. Bondi's answer misses a painfully obvious point that this is not hypothetical. The OMB issued an illegal and unconstitutional order freezing hundreds of billions of dollars of duly appropriated and authorized federal grants, funding that Congress had lawfully appropriated. I get it. President Trump was elected and will have the opportunity to put his stamp on the policy priorities of our appropriations going forward. But this is reaching back, grabbing and freezing appropriations that had already been passed by Congress and signed by a president. That includes funding for my home state and all of yours that the Department of Justice, state and local law enforcement rely on to do their job. Cops hiring grants. This is literally defunding the police if carried out. Drug task forces. No more funding to fight opioid abuse. School violence prevention programs. No more money to keep kids safe in schools. Delaware and all of our state and local fire and first responder and police organizations rely on federal grants to do their work. And if they are frozen or paused for an indefinite period, it has impacts that I think go well beyond the guardrails of what is permissible. This directive was so clearly outside the boundaries of presidential power that a federal judge blocked it within minutes after its application and just hours after a lawsuit seeking a TRO was filed. Let me conclude. Based on her answers, I do not have confidence that Ms. Bondi, in a similar circumstance as this week, would have told the White House or President Trump that that directive was not just ill-conceived, but illegal. Even if she knew it was unconstitutional, I don't believe she would have resigned. And I cannot vote for an attorney general that I can't trust to stand up for the rule of law. I suspect Ms. Bondi will be confirmed, and I hope that she leads the department with the integrity and independence our system requires. We had a constructive conversation about her record, referenced by the chairman, in working on the opioid crisis and working on criminal justice reform. I have a number of bipartisan bills to address issues like supervised release, helping people leaving prison get driver's licenses, simple common sense progress on criminal justice reform. During our meeting, she said if confirmed, she'd have an open-door policy and work across the aisle. I hope that, too, is true, and I look forward to taking her up on that offer if she is confirmed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It was noted by our chair and many